We watched a Hulu original called Boss Level.
HULU.
It's about time loops. So anything about involving time I always find kind of interesting. Back to the Future, Terminator, recent Marvel movies. This one, I pulled it up on Rotten Tomatoes and it had a 76%. And I was like, really? So anyway, I convinced Kelsey to watch the movie Boss Level, starring, we believe, Frank
Grillo. It's the bad guy from the Captain America movies.
Yeah, so he was one of the Hydra soldiers with he had some speaking lines. Anyway,
he's also in the TV show Kingdom, which is on Netflix.
We haven't watched yet.
So
we're planning to. Anyway, so we watched this movie, and it's a Groundhog Day put in a sci-fi action thriller. What else could you want?
Yeah.
Go wait or skip.
Go see this movie. It's interesting. Do you like Groundhog Day? Do you like Captain America? Do you like Captain America's bad guy? Then you'll love this movie. I think that it's fun, it's different, and it's over-the-top violence, but it knows that it is. It's overly sensationalized, and that makes it fun. I like those type of movies. And then I just really enjoyed it. It was different, and it's definitely worth a watch.
I'm going to settle on wait for this movie. I want to say go though because it's fun, but I want to say, you know what, if you wait a little bit on this, it's not life-changing or anything like that. But it was a fun movie, and the lead in this movie had a certain charisma.
I say pizzazz, but charisma is a better word.
Charisma about him, or he was funny, and it was a combination of his charisma and how the writers for the movie / screenplay, and then how they put the movie together, visually how it was put together.
I definitely want more of him in lead roles.
Yeah, I think this guy has a future.
He's the next big thing.
But it was really fun. It involved time travel, I guess, in a sense. It was time looping with which I always find intriguing. Also makes my head hurt a little bit, so it's don't think about it too much. But it was a really fun movie and didn't take itself too serious.
Right.
Some instances just subtly almost made fun of itself. Spoilers.
This Frank Grillo is the titular character. He's never had a carbohydrate in his life.
Yet in the movie, they make a joke about him lying about his weight because he's been drinking quite often.
I'm not sure this guy's ever even seen a carb.
But I mean, it was why would you be lying about your weight? How much weight could you lose? I don't understand. He's all like... Anyway... That was a part where it seemed maybe a little bit out of touch, but the rest of the movie, it didn't take itself too serious.
He's awesome. He has a lot of charisma. He's equally kind of fun, but also he has the appearance of and the whatever of being kind of a badass. He's a pretty cool guy.
Well, that and his character in this movie had a son, and he got to show. I don't know, it was just a tiny bit of heart or connection or depth or something. A tiny bit. This movie does not have a lot of depth. They didn't decide to go into depth with anything in this movie, but he had that. I think he has that ability as an actor to somehow be muscle-bound, charismatic, funny, and make a heart connection.
Reminds me a lot of myself.
I know. I see it. I totally see it.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked it. It also had King Kong's girlfriend in the movie.
Why can't I remember her name? I've been sitting here the
Naomi
whole time.
Watts.
There you go, Naomi Watts. It had some named people in this movie.
Was she in The Ring?
Naomi, I don't remember.
Were you Naomi? I know that you were King Kong's girlfriend in the movie.
It's obscure, but
The Ring is not obscure.
She's been in tons of stuff. Very solidified actor. Mel Gibson was in this movie.
Yeah.
He played, and this was a sense where I say it didn't have a lot of depth. He just played the bad guy.
He's bad, and he don't do bad things.
Say kind of ridiculous things and be but that was all he brought. So it was interesting to me to bring in such a big name for a role that wasn't going to have a lot much else to it.
How about it also had the guy from Mom who plays what's her face's boyfriend.
Yeah, he's been in lots of other stuff.
That's what I know him from.
Okay.
but I haven't seen him in anything else.
We don't have a lot of other information.
Information I have for you is he usually plays like a likable character, and in this he was not.
Yeah, he was.
He was the other goon. Bad guy.
He was
the
Mel
bad guy's
Gibson's
goon.
Character's goon.
Yeah, how are you going to out-goon a goon, though? Because isn't Grillo a goon?
Well, he's
the king goon.
I don't know. Turns out that he's not. That's what I'm going to say. Turns out that he's not.
He's the goon with the heart of gold.
We just didn't get to see all of him in Hydra. Anyway, I mean in Marvel movies, which he was playing a Hydra soldier. It had a real fun character in it. He's being chased by all these like assassins who were, I mean, just filthy, super skilled assassin. I meant to say filthy rich, super skilled assassins.
Oh yeah.
And the one that like at the end, right, that he has to like fight to get to the boss is she's a really great swordsman.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
And she would say her name. She'd be like, I am Alicia, and this is what I have done. Like, that was her little catchphrase, and she did it every time she'd, like, slice somebody with her sword. And he gets killed, like, over 200 times in the movie.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Live, Die, Repeat, yeah.
What was it called? It had two different names, is why I don't know the name of it.
Yeah, one of the names of it was Live, Die, Repeat. But yeah, it was funny because he kept replaying it, and what they chose to do was make it like a video game. But when I say that, I feel like you might be like, oh, because we've seen other movies that are like video games a lot or like comic books a lot, and they don't always pan out. But this one was done in just the right way, where it was still really fun to watch visually. It came off as a movie, but there's a reason why it's called boss level, because it was like that level of a video game. And then he had like all these attempts. It was like he had unlimited lives on whatever this video game was, kept repeating the same thing over. But even how he would, like, he had to clear a stairwell, like I could just feel doing that in a video game where he took out, like, all the obstacles in his path.
Rainbow Six. Remember you'd be like, sneak up on people?
I don't
that was a long time ago.
Know what you're referring to.
It's like one of the only Xbox games you had at your house.
That I had?
Lived in the apartment. Yeah.
Or you had?
Well, I bought you an Xbox.
Oh, okay.
And then this is one of the games that we had.
What was it called?
Rainbow Six.
I don't remember. I have no recollection.
It's like Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. And like part of the game was like you had to like sneak up on people. And if you didn't, like they would turn around and kill you real fast. So it was pretty realistic.
Because if you walk too fast,
they'll hear
like,
you and shoot you.
They would shoot you, but like you had to be like...
Yeah.
Okay.
It was so different than any other like game.
Anyway, this movie was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Why don't you just change it to go?
Here's what I am going to say. Don't think about it, because they are going to gloss over the science of whatever this machine is where, you know, Naomi Watts took some clippings of his hair and put it in there, and now he's the only one living this day over and over again. I still don't understand how he lives this day over, and then I'm like, well, what about all the other people in this single day? Are they real people?
What's the other movie that came out? The big summer blockbuster movie that came out over the summer?
Tenet?
It's not Tenet. Like, it's not going to drown you in theories.
Well, no, this does the opposite. It's just going to glaze right over it, because the point is to have fun with the concept of the movie.
I still don't know what Tenet
is
about.
But I still am asking this question. We watched this in this movie, Groundhog Day.
But this is just your general question about this specific type of time travel.
Palm Springs. Like, I keep getting taken back to this thing, and I'm like, are these real people or are they shadows of people? Because it seemed like he was trying to have a relationship with his son, but I guess when he starts back over on this next day that will now no longer repeat, he's got to start from square one with this kid, you know? But he had 200 days. He built a relationship with his son. I'm just saying, not to mention all the like people that got killed throughout this whole thing. That's the only part of this kind of time loop thing that I don't quite understand. Was it answered in Groundhog Day? Because I feel like, or did he have to retell the lady that Andy McDowell every time?
We discussed this at length, the different kinds of time travel and ideas, theories around them.
My brain can't handle
Remember,
it.
it was for the Marvel, the Avengers, the last Avengers movie. We had we had a whole whiteboard out and we talked about the different kinds of time
travel. I could only understand it if I visualize it, like have it all drawn out on a whiteboard, apparently. But this is
and then as soon as you grasp it, it's gone. And then you got to start it all over. Oh my gosh, you're in that loop.
Question about the moral, like the morality of what's going on with all these other people, since it's almost like he's taken and just put in a video game simulation, and these maybe aren't real people, but they seem like real people. I don't know. And in this movie, on the last day, when they fix it, he finally figures it out, gets to the end of the level per se. He has to repeat the day one more time and not die, and then they all just keep going on living. So then that seems to imply these people were kind of frozen in time, but they were the real people. But do they retain their memories? Because they didn't day to day, but he did. He got smarter, and he became an expert swordsman.
What's weird is at the end of the movie, like, he's playing this guitar, but then his hand starts to disappear. And I was like, that's weird.
Oh, no.
Why didn't they just send the Terminator back to kill her as a baby? Or just to kill the first person, even.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. That's a review of Boss Level.